That's when you got to them. This is the House Appropriations Committee. Friday, January 23rd, 2026. It is 3:53 p.m. and we are trying to cross our T's and dot our I's. Yeah, okay. So in order to, a few of you have asked about the global commitment and closing out that 301. In order to do that, we really actually need to make sure that we agree with the global commitment parts of the things that we thought we closed out. So we're just going to do a quick reminder, refresher, make sure that we think that that was okay. We had improved the general fund side because that's been on all the other spreadsheets, but the global commitment side hasn't. So it's sort of one last run through of that. So if you, we'll start on page 2 of Adam's spreadsheet. It's all the B300s except the corrections. So the first one is B300, and that was the digital services and reconciliation. So that was moving everything out. So we're not going to rehash everything, but just make sure that that's what we thought we agreed to, right? We're going to skip P301 because that's the number that gets figured out based on all the other stuff we do. DIVA 306. There was some global commitment and general fund swap. That was a little bit of money, global commitment of 15,000 and 3620 federal funds for the Planned Parenthood grant. Then there was provider contracts. We did talk about those in pretty much detail, as I recall. Money for Pilgrim Park, that's necessitated by the closing of Cherry Street building. The Oracle-based licenses, and now we're getting into some IT things. Digital services. IT contracts. Everybody, right, that all sounds familiar, we're good there, okay. And then the next is Medicaid global commitment. This is all caseload and utilization adjustment, okay? Then 309 is again caseload and utilization, and a little bit of Planned Parenthood and Blueprint global commitment, and then the updated clawback estimate that they always get from the feds. Okay, great. Now we're on page 3. More DIVA. This is more of the swap things, and the CHIPS plan moved to a state-only appropriation. So that's where there's CHIP and federal funds for that. Talked a lot about that. You're good with that one, Dave? That's yours. This is the Medicaid non-waiver matched. I think we standard. Okay. And if we're all looking with our heads in our spreadsheets and we don't notice you, just feel free to chime in there. Okay, we'll try to look up, but you know how it is. Health administration and support, ADS again for charges. So it's nice that we can draw down some federal funds for some of the ADS stuff. It's not all general fund. Okay. This was a health swap. Lynn talked about that, and we agreed to that. And then 14. There was some reconciliation, ADS, adult transportation, cost increases. Yep. And the private non-medical institutions increase. That was a big one. That was federal and general funds. Okay. Yep. The next one, we did talk a lot about the travel nurse and all of that. So we pretty much covered that. And then there was a reduction in general fund. We liked this one. There's a reduction in general fund and use of global commitment for that. And then some River Valley general fund cost beyond the residents' monthly revenue. Keep an eye on that. Okay, so that all, unless I hear you jumping up and down, I'm going to keep going, everybody. Realignment of TANF, we did talk about that. And more ADS stuff. Okay, that's 316. Next one is B 317. Caseload and utilization. TANF realignment from the line above. The sub-adoption caseload, we talked about that also. And so those were the federal and global commitment, and the rest was general fund that we approved. DCF child development. These were net neutral moves from within DCF. Okay. And then we had approved this age of the aged, blind, and disabled, global commitment, caseload adjustment, all caseload adjustment. Okay. All right, page 4. Okay. Again, caseload adjustment. DCF. Caseload and TANF realignment, that was general fund down, not too much in federal, global commitment. The other one is changing a bit, that's the 2 million we talked about, so, and there's no, there's a little teeny bit of global commitment in that for permanent supportive housing. Oh, yeah, for transition after American Rescue Plan. So the 2 million part's going to change, but the rest of it is we already agreed with. Okay. Secure residential has no global commitment. Needed as the admin. B330. Revenue reconciliation and the collective bargaining. So that's kind of is what it is. Okay. And then this 1,188,000 is again the collective bargaining. So we're done with that. Third one is also collective bargaining. So, and then the very last one, I think, 334.1 is the long-term care. There's that, I guess that's all global commitment. That's going to change a little bit with the ERF going to some of those other things that we talked about, but the dollar amount's still staying the same in global commitment, so that number isn't going to change. So I think, is that everything that we were supposed to do, JFO, on global commitment? Okay. Are there any other things that you need from us at the moment?
I mean, now we've gone through, like, gone back to all the global and that about one small change, we could close out that. That's the last we're meeting on.
Okay. Okay. We did, yeah, so well, the 301 will be the last line that they will now fix up and make pretty based on all of our decisions. Right. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to get a lot more language from Brady at this moment. He's working, is he going to come over with anything, do we think, Emily? Okay. On Monday, we will get, and if he's done over the weekend, we can take a look at it. We will get the language of give us a plan for the deficits fund, the criminal background check fund.
Oh, right.
Right. That, so he'll get that to us, and we can change it if we don't like it. We have Monday to do that. We've seen pretty much all the other pieces, I think, along the way. He gave us a bunch. He's gonna just modify that closeout agreement based on what we agreed on with the 74.5, make that clear, and then we switched which was step 2 and step 3, so we'll get that language. Okay, it's on the way over. So this will be the last piece, and then we'll take our straw poll, and then You can all go home.
It's just the criminal records thing.
Okay, all right. All right, that's fine. But we all know what we're doing with those pieces. They're kind of small, important, but
It will be something about over the plans, but.
yeah. Okay. So you said he's coming over right now?
Yep, he's expecting and running over,
Okay,
or maybe 5 minutes.
all right. So why don't we